Coming up on Good Morning Texas.
GMTX goes green.
Texas Traditions, Tree Edition.
And we go over the do's and don'ts of recycling.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas. Good morning, Texas. I'm Hannah Sauer.
And I'm Abigail Redondo. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday, April 24th. Hannah, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, the end of the semester is coming up, so I'm just kind of making it till the end now. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and I should be getting my ring this week.
Oh my God, really?
Yes,
oh, that's so exciting.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to something this week.
Well, that's awesome. We've got a great show for you this morning, but first let's get the latest in the news and a look at this week's weather with Joseph Stewart. Joseph?
Thanks, Hannah. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be an astronaut or what life is like working on the International Space Station, you may be in luck. Tomorrow, UT is hosting an exhibit with NASA in the ISS National Lab at the Aerospace Engineering Building, right here on campus. This traveling exhibit features many items from NASA's history. You can take photos in a spacesuit and even touch a moon rock. And the cherry on top, UT alumna and astronaut Stephanie Wilson will speak and answer questions. The exhibit runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., so if you need an out-of-this-world study break, try to stop by. In Texas news, the state legislature is reviewing Texas Senate Bill 9. This bill aims to limit the most common mistakes on voter registration forms, like mixing up the numbers of your zip code. The penalty for registration mistakes is a misdemeanor, but if SB 9 passes, it would become a felony. Supporters say laws like this would help maintain voter integrity, while opponents say this could deter future voter turnout. Lastly, the U.S. Supreme Court is still deciding if asking for your citizenship status on the 2020 census is legal. This survey is a key component in how congressional representatives are appointed. Critics say that if this question is allowed, it could discourage people from filling out the census. If this happens, the number of representatives per state could be affected. The last time this appeared on the U.S. Census was 1950. Back to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Joseph. So that's pretty crazy. They're changing a lot of bills, a lot of legislations right now.
Gotta watch out for it. Any changes coming up, so.
Definitely, but I think the astronaut thing we're having is pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be fun. And what's the forecast for this week?
It's been beautiful these past few days, Longhorns, but that would change today. If you're headed to class, be prepared for severe thunderstorms with a 100% chance of precipitation during the day and a 90% chance this evening. There will be a high near 74 degrees, which will drop to around 59 tonight. Thursday will bring us mostly sunny skies and only a 20% chance of rain, with a high near 78. At night, skies will be mostly clear with a low around 60. Closing out your week, Friday will be sunny and warm with a high of 80. That night, the low will be near 60. This weekend will be awesome for adventuring, having a picnic at Zilker, or just enjoying the outdoors. If you want to take a swim, Saturday will be the perfect day to hop in the pool. We're expecting sunshine and a high around 85 degrees. Saturday night will be mostly clear with a low around 60, so you could even swim under the stars if you feel like it. On Sunday, we'll see more of the same, so take advantage while you can. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Joseph Stewart.
Thanks, Joseph. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. So Abigail, how was your weekend?
It was pretty nice. I mean, it was a beautiful weekend. It was Easter. Went home for the weekend and spent time with my family, and we got a house.
That's so cool. Did y'all like pick out the house? Did you have it built, or was it like?
Yeah, we picked out a house. It's completely remodeled, but it was just beautiful, just seeing all of it put together, and it was just nice spending time with family.
That is so
What about
cute.
you?
Well, for me, as you know, the world celebrated Earth Day on Monday, so to get in the spirit, I spent the whole day going green.
Ooh.
It wasn't easy, but it was definitely eye-opening. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, today is Monday, but it's not just any ordinary Monday because it's Earth Day. So for this Earth Day, I decided to go green, or at least as green as possible. First, I went grocery shopping. I made sure to use only recyclable paper bags instead of plastic bags. Next, I went back to school. Instead of driving from San Marcos, I decided to take a bus. It's a lot more eco-friendly, and because it was Earth Day, it was free. Once I got home, I made sure to recycle as much as possible. I recycled so much that I had to empty out the bin midday. To stay green, I switched from plastic water bottles to a refillable one. This was a bit of a hassle because it was a hot day and I drank a lot. However, it was worth it for the earth. Lastly, I made sure to spend the day outside, having fun and enjoying nature instead of inside with electronics. That was it for my Earth Day. Make sure to go outside and take care of the planet. Happy Earth Day, everyone!
4, 3, 2.
So that looked really fun. You were spending the day outside?
Yes, it was so much fun. I just went all around UT and tried to be outside as much as possible. And they have a lot more like trees and greenery than I realized.
Yeah, and looked fun. And speaking of, so the end of the semester is around the corner, and while I'm sure you've learned a lot from your classes, we wanted to teach you about some cool things rooted in UT's history. Cameron Trout takes us on a special nature edition of Texas Traditions.
Hello, so for this edition of Texas Traditions, I really wanted to honor Arbor Day and focus on some notable trees around the UT campus. First off, I'm here at the Battle Oaks near the Barbara Jordan Memorial. It's beautiful to take grad pics at or just be an Instagram baddie. These trees are said to be even older than UT itself, rounding out at about 250 years old to 300 years old. The real reason behind the name of the trees comes from all the way back in 1923, when Dr. William Battle fought to preserve these trees in the face of the creation of a new biology building. Speaking of Barbara Jordan, I really wanted to highlight the tree UT dedicated to her second. The Barbara Jordan Oak stands in front of the LBJ Library. While this oak may seem small, it stands for a lot. Barbara Jordan was the first African American elected to the Texas Senate and then went on to the U.S. House of Representatives. After that, she taught ethics at UT. Finally, my tour of famous UT trees brings me to the Littlefield deodar tree. This tree was brought all the way from the Western Himalayas by George Littlefield, the original owner of the Littlefield House. Its low-hanging branches create something like an umbrella, so if you ever get caught out in Austin's bipolar weather without an umbrella, you know where to go. Well, that or a building. As you can see, there are so many beautiful things around the UT campus, so take a little time and look at the world around you. For Good Morning Texas, I'm Cameron Trout.
That was so cute. I love all the famous trees.
Yes.
And in the continued spirit of going green, Abigail, how much would you say you know about recycling?
I'd say I'm pretty knowledgeable. I try to look at the packages and see if it's recyclable or not, and I just try to be as less wasteful as possible.
That's good. I definitely do recycle, but I never know what to do with a container that has food in it. Like if I'm eating ice cream, do I have to clean the packaging before I toss it? A lot of people have these same questions. Luckily, our executive producer, Lizzie Smith, is here to help with the do's and don'ts of recycling.
When it comes to going green, we all know these 3 easy rules: reduce, reuse, and recycle. But when it comes down to the wire, just how easy is it? I mean, what can you recycle? What do you do with takeout containers? Or what about styrofoam? There are many rules to recycling, but never fear, I'm gonna walk you through it. When it comes to disposing of waste, we're gonna think about 4 different categories: paper, plastic, glass, and garbage. Paper, plastic, and glass can almost always be recycled, but there are a few exceptions which make your normal recyclables become garbage. First, if there's food waste. A normal paper plate is perfectly fine, but if that plate is covered with whipped cream, let's say, it goes in the trash. Plastic milk cartons are perfectly recyclable only if you wash them first. If you're still unsure about what you can recycle even after cleaning out the food waste, the easiest way to check is to look for this famous symbol. If you see the symbol, you know it is safe to recycle. Sometimes there are materials which need special care. Colored glass, light bulbs, batteries, paint cans, medical needles, and medications all need to be taken to special facilities. There isn't really an all-inclusive place to take these, so be sure to research places in your local area where you can take these materials before you get rid of them. Now remember, this isn't a comprehensive guide to recycling. Always check with your city and your local recycling plant to see what materials are accepted and what aren't. And when in doubt, the internet is your best friend. Of course, there are lots of different ways to go green. You can compost, you can do your laundry less times a week, you can turn off the lights and conserve energy when you're not needing them. But no matter what your contribution is, if we work together, we can all make this planet a greener, cleaner place. For GMTX, I'm Lizzie Smith.
Hannah, that was such an informative package. How fun.
It really, really was. And she answered my question. Rinse it, and then you can recycle it.
Of course, yes. And don't go anywhere after the break. We're joined by a group fighting to end food insecurity on campus. You won't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. Joining us in studio is junior accounting major Sierra Gonzalez. She and a group of Longhorns are trying to find a better solution to the way UT Outpost gets its food. Thank you for joining us, Sierra.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah, so currently there's a major problem going on the UT campus. I'm not sure if you're aware of this statistic, but 1 out of every 4 students struggles with food insecurity, meaning they don't have reliable access to nutritious and affordable food. Fortunately, UT recognizes that problem and has created a food program called the UT Outpost, where students who sign up for it can get a monthly service program of food provided to them.
Yeah, so I'm aware about UT Outpost. I just wasn't aware of the number. I think that's really important to try to solve. So I know your group is trying to help fix this. What are y'all trying to specifically do?
Well, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here or anything, especially because UT has already created this program. So what we're trying to do is just improve upon the current infrastructure that's already there. So currently we're partnering with the Dean of Students that runs the UT Outpost, other student organizations, and colleges and schools on campus. And what we're trying to do is create a stable supply of resources. So the issue with food drives is they tend to happen around a time when people are in a giving mood, like holidays, so that creates a deficit in other times. So what we want to do is create a schedule with these organizations and stagger food drives so that way there's a stable supply of food.
That's really good. I mean, I think that so basically it's a team effort that you're really trying to accomplish.
Exactly.
Wow. And so what organizations have you reached so far?
We've reached out to a number of organizations so far. For example, Texas Student Media has already joined.
Great.
Really, though, it's open to any organizations that would like to help the cause.
And so is there any kind of social media that y'all are trying to share as far as getting this on the ground and getting this going?
So far, we are going to reach out to the organizations that are already with us and see if we can use their social media so far.
That's perfect. So can you tell me how this experience has really impacted you in some way?
Yeah, definitely. So with this, it was based off of a project for a class, and usually it's kind of just a rush and a finish to the end. But with this, it's more of a meaningful project. At the end of the day, it does genuinely help students, 1 out of every 4 that do struggle with food insecurity. So it has been more of a meaningful project than others for me.
That's really great. Wow. Before we let you go, tell us real quick what your group is called.
We like to call ourselves the Drive Out Food Insecurity Coordinating Team.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And when we get back, a performer that's hard to beat, Beatboxer Hays. Join us in studio. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Joining us is Beatboxer Hays. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
So for those of you in the audience who don't know, what is beatboxing?
Beatboxing is making music with your mouth, whether it be singing, more like percussive sounds. It's just the imitation of music and other instruments with the human anatomy.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm excited to hear you, so go for it.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Gonna take my horse to the hot town road. I'm gonna ride until I can't no more. Take my horse to the hot town road. I'm gonna ride until I can't no more. More. I got the horses and ride until I can't no more.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So before we go, I have a couple questions for you. How did you get into beatboxing?
I've always just kind of like made noise as like a kid, and then around like the age like 15 or so, I was like, oh, hey, I can do this, and people will like it without getting annoyed. And ever since then, every time I take a shower, I'm just beatboxing and
Oh, that's really awesome.
having a good time.
So have you like competed with it or anything like that?
I'm going to be performing this weekend at the Texas Review Talent Show, April 27th, 6:30 in Hogg Auditorium. It's going to be my third time being there. I've never won, but maybe this year that will all change. So,
Well, yes, hopefully best of luck to you. So do you have any social media platforms that we can look out for you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Hays and Confused. My name, Hayesed and Confused. My beatbox name is also Hays, but with the Z.
Okay, definitely. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for tuning in. Be sure to wake up with us next week for more UT and Austin news. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter at Good Morning TX for news updates throughout the week. Be sure to tune in later this evening for Tower Talks at 6. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Beatboxers out.
More. Texas.
Thank you for the outro.
I thought this kept going. I was like, okay.